Good morning, everybody. It's Serafina, and I'm back with your daily tarot and astro insights. So today is February 22nd of 2022. And so those are a lot of twos in the numerology for today. And so I was reflecting on what this means for us, and I was also reading on the vibration of the number 2 in this book by Alana Fairchild called Messages in the Numbers. And basically, the number 2 has to do with partnerships, right? One is about activation, about independence, about moving forward. If we think about the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, right? It's always like an initiatory spark or movement towards something. And then naturally the number 2, well, it means that there's a counterpart to something, right? That there's an interaction. So it's all about, us in relationship to something else. And so I feel that, this day is going to be beneficial for us to be, kind of like reflecting on our presence within relationships. But an interesting thing that's happening astrologically today is that the moon is squaring Saturn. And so Saturn is known as the Lord of Karma, but it is also known as like a planet that brings a lot of sense of isolation. And isolation doesn't always have to be negative, but sometimes, people who have strong Saturnian energies in their chart, for example, like to spend a lot of time alone, and they need to spend time alone to regenerate. And so if we have the moon, which is a very nurturing planet, it's a planet related to femininity, to motherhood, to relationships as well, and it's squaring this Saturn, and the square causes tension. I feel that, mixing the fact that today is 2 2 2 2 2 2 2, and that we have the moon squaring Saturn, it's going to speak a lot to boundaries within relationships. Where are we setting them? Are we keeping up with them? And maybe some of us today are just gonna feel like a need to go in, a need to isolate, a need to kind of disconnect from everything that's happening outside. And with that, I would like to bring the message of, okay, so if we're kind of going in and reflecting on our relationships on the outside, what does that say about how we're weaving our thoughts and our energy with ourselves, and not only with ourselves, but with the other relationships that we have on the spiritual realms? And so, if you spend time in meditation, if you spend time praying, lighting candles, or just walking through nature, know that we are constantly around other entities that we can have a relationship with. So personally, I like to talk to or pray to my spirit guides. And this is a term that's used a lot. And I think it's used a lot just because we don't really know what other name to give to it. But I truly believe that everybody has, guides on the spirit realm who are continuously guiding and talking and looking after us. There's a sense of protection for lots of us. And the more we open up to the fact that we have these entities around us, and we enter into conversation with them, the better the communication is going to start developing, right? And so today I invite us to maybe bring more awareness to the beautiful souls, angels, ancestors, even the daemons from the earth and from nature that like to maybe talk to us or give us messages or guide us, however that may fit for you in your own spiritual path. Okay, so let's pull out some cards to see what messages there are for the collective. Dear Spirit of the Universe that loves us unconditionally, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Six of Pentacles, What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Two of Cups. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so what I'm feeling from this reading is, first of all, starting with the Six of Pentacles. I mentioned it before, and basically it is us giving and receiving in balance. And also, if you notice that there's this person who has a scale here, and they're kind of like giving money to charity, basically. And I feel that it's a call to reflection of, yes, it's great to be able to be there for our loved ones and for people who need love and support, but are we, giving our love and our support from a genuine place? Do we have enough wood in our in our home to be able to giving wood to other people? That's maybe not the best example, but just like let's make sure that our cup is filled before we are giving wood to other people. And it's funny that we get the Two of Cups because, as I mentioned, today's a 2 2 2 2 2. So it could be speaking to romantic relationships, karmic relationships. As I mentioned, right now they're going to be going through a lot of changes. And to be honest, the Wheel of Fortune speaks a lot of karmic relationships as well. But today I'm feeling that it could be regarding our relationship with others, but I think the Two of Cups is also about our relationship with ourselves, right? And so how is it that we are interacting with others in a way that is beneficial for everybody? Because the Wheel of Fortune, which is number 10 of the major arcana, is kind of like a flipping point within the journey of the Fool, right? Because there are 21 cards, so it's kind of like right in the middle. And this card usually comes to show up when things are going to take a shift. Things are going to shift and things are going to turn. And of course, any drastic shifts really do have to do with karmic relationships or karmic patterns. And so I feel that, the message for today is us being able to really assess that when we are interacting with others, are we actually coming from a place of that we can actually give what we are, choosing to give out, and how this mirrors or reflects our relationship with self. And, the Wheel of Fortune, yeah, I mean, it's about being able to be grounded or centered. So I'm going to continue with these oracle cards for some clarification. The reason why I chose these oracle cards, and they're called Keepers of the Light, and it has lots of ascended masters on them, and they kind of have them in twos, right? So they have the female and the male counterpart to it, so I thought it was quite auspicious to use that today. So, beloved spirit of the universe and ascended masters, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have Master Jesus with forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. So honestly, it's still making me think a lot of what's going on here regarding the dynamics between female and male relationships. What further guidance is there? Oh, and we have Radha, soul flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. So these are actually quite beautiful cards to get. Why? Jesus Christ, I was just reflecting on him the other day because Jesus Christ is very related to the sign of Pisces, because it said that when Jesus Christ came as an avatar to spread the message of love here on earth, we were in the age of Pisces, right? And right now we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius. And there's lots of stories also around Jesus Christ and fish. And fish is the symbol for Pisces, and it kind of represents its sensitive nature, right? If you think that when you're approaching a pond, the fish can already feel you and they're scuttering. And Pisces is also all about being able to dissolve into the unknown, to kind of like release boundaries. And Jesus Christ's message was a lot about unconditional love and loving your neighbor. And I find it interesting that he came out paired with Radha. Radha is the female motherly aspect of when it comes to the Krishna consciousness. So she is like the feminine counterpart to Krishna, who I relate to Jesus because they're very heart-centered. They're very much about love and devotion. And so she here is suggesting rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. So, not all of the cards in this deck of the the Ascended Masters have to do around relationships. So, definitely the theme of relationships is prevalent today. And I'm going to say it back again. We still have Venus and Mars traveling together. So what I'm sensing, what I'm gathering for today is that, again, let's check our initial motivations, our connection to the material realm, how we are integrating, the masculine and the feminine, and are we giving more than what we can actually be giving towards others? Because this is a direct reflection about ourselves. The word that's coming to mind right now is abandonment, right? Are we abandoning ourselves when we are entering relationship with others? It's really great to be humble and it's really great to give, but let's make sure that we're giving from a place that we actually have enough to give to others, because the wheels are turning right now. This is just, it's karma. It's changing. The gears are shifting, and I can even see like gears just shifting up to different levels right now for some of us who are choosing to see our dynamics and our relationship patterns. And Jesus is here to kind of speak. I don't know if any of you particularly are dealing with, your relationship with your father or with masculine people in your life right now, and how that is reflecting back to you. And so I always suggest that if you are dealing with particular masculine relationships, maybe we can write a letter to them, and we don't have to send it to them, but we could burn it. And the importance of forgiveness, right? We're all on this journey together. And then we have Radha, who is the beloved, right? She is all about devotion. And so something I like to ask myself continuously, which I learned through Bhakti Yoga, where Krishna and Radha are celebrated, is how can I love you back today, God, right? Because, God, creator, source, the universe, has an infinite amount of love and abundance, and they're continuously pouring it into us, but we're the ones who have to be able to receive it. So a good thing that I like to question myself is, how can I love creator back today? How can I show my love and devotion back to this creative source who has held me since the day that I was born? Okay, so last but not least, I would like to choose a card from the White Light Oracle. Dear beloved Spirit of the universe, dear beloved God, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have Obo Edere, number 3 for anybody who has this oracle deck. So what I'm noticing right off the bat is that we have like a heart-shaped, enclosure around us, and it's coming from the divine. And she's kind of just like embracing herself and wrapping herself with her eyes closed. And so, going back to the Saturn square the moon, like I feel like today some of us are going to be putting on like a bit of an armor, but not an unhealthy armor. An armor that's going to allow us to kind of go in and check in with ourselves and like rebalance, feel the fluctuations in our dynamics of relationships and how they're coming across or how they're coming out. So let's see what reflection there is from the book. It says, "Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be or what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect to the light and live that connection in particular ways which contribute positive energy to the human collective." Obedire is a Latin basis for the word obedience. Far from conforming to authority, the original meaning was to listen, to hear, and not to turn away. The oracle of Obedire is about becoming a sacred rebel, giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of spirit unconditionally. That means refusing to torture yourself with horror stories that society and your own mind conjure up from time to time. This guidance is encouraging you to connect through your heart with the spiritual light, wisdom, and guidance within. This oracle asks you to believe in the power of spirit to show you the way through all troubles. This is a message from our loving universe for you. You will feel in your heart. So yeah, I'm feeling that a lot is going out in the external world. A lot is going out in our relationship world. And that's going to be, a time for us today to go in and reflect and see how it is that we're balancing our inner and outer energies with other people, to do it in a way that is balanced, in a way that reflects our true intentions. This is a card of relationships, but it's also a card of self-love, right? How am I loving myself? How am I filling my own cup up? How are my feminine and masculine relationship speaking to each other? Because the gears are shifting. I'm seeing this, like I mentioned before, like literally gears just turning in a new way. Where something is ascending, something is changing today. Let's reflect on our ability to forgive and the messages that Jesus had for us on unconditional love, and really feeling into this Pisces season of being able to dissolve some of the boundaries and being a devotee. What are you devoted to every single day? Is it your art? Is it your children? Is it God? Is it your relationship to your body? Because we are being held. We're being held right now. And the call is to trust in your own spiritual guidance. And I really want to tie it back to us being able to recognize that we are supported and that we are loved beyond measure. And if we open up conversation to our spirit guides, the quality of our life is just improves tremendously. Okay, so I hope that this was useful for you all. Remember, if you would like a tarot reading, you can always contact me, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.